Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Luke Otfanowski from Portal Games, looking at Detective, Modern Crime board game by Ignacy Trzewiczek, which is debuting here at Gen Con 2018.
It is, yeah. It's being sold like hotcakes now in booth 1850. Last time we talked, I think I just had small little pre-production components.
Yeah, we were at Gamma.
Yeah, we were at Gamma.
A little bit.
Now you have actual components, although you'll notice there's not much more here.
No.
There's not too much as far as components, and that's what we keep hearing about this game, is that it's all about the experience, and the game, components, and the rules don't get in the way.
Okay.
So, for those that don't know, it is a story-driven, immersive game. It is meant to be played as a co-op, 1 to 5 players, where everyone is playing as detectives, traveling around, managing time, trying to file a report, solve a case within a set amount of time, using an investigator and using their skills to dig deeper on leads, which are this deck of cards as the storytelling element. And that's why there's not many components, because a lot of stuff is on the online database. A lot of stuff is in the real world when you're on Google Maps and on Wikipedia looking up information. But most of the game is in the communication, it's in the deduction, it's in the thinking, it's in the interaction, it's in setting the atmosphere and the tone.
Okay. Trying to figure out things as you find them, which of course we can't really show. I know you have a sample case, right, to sort of demo the game or show off a little bit how it works.
So I brought all of this out to talk about the game. I brought the cases. We can look at some of these different cases up, but it's really tough to show something in this game. Even the demo case, we're running an event here with 100 people playing detective. So if any of them is watching this, that's spoiled. So if a game like this, it's really, the case book here has the first case, everything right there in it. So we can definitely walk people through what to expect with the case.
Right.
So you've got your basic introduction, you've got your brief, and you've got your preparation, your setup. So telling you how to use your authority tokens. You start with however many, what time the case actually starts, your goal, your time limit, your stress limit, and your further leads. These are your main core leads that you're focusing in on.
Okay.
And in this game, it's important not to get caught down a rabbit hole, because as you're playing through this and you're flipping cards, and that leads you to a lead, and you want to pursue that lead, you go to another card and you pursue that one. As you're doing that, it's really easy to get caught down a rabbit hole. This game is important to be able to stop and think, is this giving me the answer I need? And to be able to step back and say, you know what, no, let's go back to the core leads, let's go back to the lab to get the evidence.
Right.
Let's go to the courthouse to look through the archives. We don't need this information right now, maybe we'll come back to it later. Going a little bit deeper into the investigators, they're double-sided, so if you're playing with 5, you will have all 5 investigators out, and they will have special skill tokens, which allow you to dig deeper on leads. So every card is double-sided. So for example, if you have a card that's interrogating a suspect, Mia gets a questioning skill. She's really good at questioning. So you only have one of these in the game. You can use this to flip that card and press the suspect further and try to get more out of him if you think that's necessary. You will use these authority tokens. You start with a certain amount in the beginning of the game, and as you're on the right track, the game rewards you by giving you more. And you can use that to trigger these different skill abilities. Once the skills are done, they're done for the day. When you start the next day, they refresh.
Okay.
And that's what these are right here. These are your stress tokens. Every case has a certain stress limit. You have your normal working hours. The minute you cross over and you start working overtime, 1 hour, 1 stress token for every hour. So you have to manage your time, you have to manage your stress. Every location is going to take a different amount of time. HQ is usually fast, maybe about an hour per lead. You have the courthouse and you have Richmond PD. Those take about 2 hours. Lab work usually takes 3-4 hours. The cards are going to vary, and it's up to you to deduce how long you think something will take based on what you're trying to do.
Okay, and the stress affects you how?
So at the end of the game, basically, if you hit the stress limit, you have to finich the game. That's it. You finish whatever card you're on, you finish whatever lead you're working on, you go into your final report, and that's that.
Okay.
But the stress tokens also are 1 point less for every stress token you have at the end of the game. And the game is ending when you have to write your final report
Which again is online, the Ontario's database.
On the Ontario's database. So right here, we have a small little Ontario's cheat sheet that comes with the game. And basically, we provide this just so players are a little bit more familiar with the database, the questioning files, personnel files, the signatures, entering things into the database to try to get matches, and the final report. You'll click there. It's going to be a multiple choice system. It's a deductive game. You're never going to find one card that gives you all the answers.
Right.
The answers are spread apart, so you have to deduce what you think is the right answer. So multiple choice works in that sense because we can have multiple different things that might be misleading, might be pointed. So it's not going to give you an answer.
It's not realistic. Perhaps
your boss isn't going to give you multiple choice. But who's the suspect here?
But it does work a lot more where, I mean, for a game purpose, you don't want to just be like, so what do you have? And you just like, they go nowhere.
And you do get a really nice report after you're done. When you finish the questions, you click on, go to this final report, and then your Delaware, your boss, will go through and tell you what he thinks is right, what he thinks is wrong, which is pretty much what the actual answers are, just through him. So.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the game. So cases 1 through 5. With a game like this, it's easy to modulate, to create more expansions, and it's easier to, through the database, provide free content. So if there's a free mini case that we want to send out to everyone as a Christmas present, that's easy enough.
They can print cards and...
And they can just even use their tablet to run through a table of contents on the cards. Yeah. So that's Detective. The reception has been phenomenal so far, and we're looking forward to everyone that gets in here to start playing it and adding to that.
All right. Thank you for the overview, Luke. With the final version now of Detective.
Fun.